The worth of Bitcoin has stayed dependable at around 37,000. In the ongoing video, we'll discuss why we could see monster changes in Bitcoin's cost in the going with a few hours. The improvement in Bitcoin purchasers and an approaching expansion report are the purposes for this. In any case, what we will see truly has all the earmarks of being that way. Bitcoin got pardoned at $38,000 and went down. As of now, at this point it is obviously framing a supportive model on the 2-hour outline. Once more lately, the cost went down. We are going towards $36,000. It appears as though there is a little change in the worth. Expecting we take a gander at any rate and most fundamental places, the major degree is the Fibonacci degree. Besides, when we see how much exchanging and the improvement of costs, it appears as though there is a reaction at the lower end of the cost range. Plus, we besides cleared out several assets for liquidity reasons. Moreover, it radiates an impression of being that there is a prominent reaction to the less expensive reach while looking at exchanging volume and cost hazards. This second, we are seeing a little improvement upwards. In any case, might Bitcoin anytime stay at this degree of help for the going with a few hours? Likewise, might it whenever continue to go higher? This second, individuals are watching the market near see what others are doing. That it truly has every one of the reserves of being like that. Undoubtedly, we think things are doing consummate at the present time. In the Bitcoin graphs, our CVD marker shows that a more noteworthy number of individuals are selling than purchasing. This proposes there is a great deal of selling pressure keeping watch, disregarding how Bitcoin's cost is as of now higher than ahead of time. On September 14th, I posted a tweet on Twitter about Bitcoin. I conveyed that there is a great deal of interest in Bitcoin on the CVD marker. Individuals are simply purchasing fundamentally, in any case not succeeding. Regardless, in this specific circumstance, we have a sign that the cost could begin to go down. Another high point is being framed on the CVD marker. Bitcoin was making a lower high, however at this point it is doing the opposite. We are seeing that the credit for Bitcoin is going up, yet the CVD pointer is showing an exceptional disillusionment. This plans that expecting that this implied that Bitcoin's cost would go down. It's a critical urging to Bitcoin's detriment right now that we are seeing something else entirely, which is really going to be a decent sign for the Bitcoin cost. Sadly, it's not ordinarily so especially typical as you would regularly think. On September 14th, when I posted this, it was a huge sign that the cost of Bitcoin could go down. Regardless, the cost of Bitcoin has gone up a ton of late. Expecting we take a gander at the 4-hour diagram, we can see that it occurred at a particular time. Bitcoin continued onward up. What am I attempting to say? Without a doubt, it emits an impression of being like that. We are at present seeing a great deal of purchasing movement keeping watch, which is making costs go up. In any case, we can't simply acknowledge this information and say Bitcoin will go up in respect. This is particularly clear considering the way that new improvement information will be passed on soon. What we can hope to see is a critical ruin from 3.7% changes into around 3.3. In any case, in the going with a few numbers, we will figure out what the real information shows. Expecting Bitcoin advances forward with the other way, this is considering the way that a piece of the particular signs, particularly the sales stream, are looking uncommonly certain. That in any case, there's another truly basic thing that I truly need to fill you in about. Imagine what is happening in which the signs that costs will go up are off track and we will really advance forward down and progress the help locale we with having. Since, expecting that we take a gander at a 1-hour time period, I as of late alluded to that this could be strong regions for A. Moreover, I recognize we as a whole and all can concur that this cost progression looks remarkably restorative. So on the off chance that we make a check at the present time, it proposes that Bitcoin might have appeared at its Bitcoin has been dependably exchanging at the 37,000 district, and in the present Bitcoin cost presumption video, we'll look at the justification for why gigantic worth upgrades can be anticipated as soon as possible considering the way that not just we are seeing some crazy bullish support, yet what's more an absolutely new improvement report will go live. Regardless, as an issue of some importance, what we will see, it truly is apparently that, after a dismissal at 38,000 USD region, for certain, Bitcoin got a fundamental push towards hindrance, yet from that point forward, we are essentially illustrating a supportive outline or something like that. Basically looking on the 2-hourly time span lately, we got one more push towards disadvantage. Towards 36,000 US dollars, where it truly seems like we are correct presently seeing a little response since, in such a case that we go from our swing low back to our swing high. What is the principal Fibonacci degree? It is really going to be our wonderful pocket, which was authoritatively at this particular region. Moreover, surveying the whole upper cost activity with the volume, it truly seems like we are seeing a response at the worth locale low. Additionally, also, we in this way took out unambiguous lows for liquidity purposes, hence, we were exchanging at a nearby assistance locale or something like that. Besides, the ongoing second we are seeing a little turnaround towards the conceivable increment. Obviously, the solicitation is Bitcoin going to have the decision to hold our area of help for the going with a couple of hours here? Besides, really go on with its way significantly higher towards the regressive on the grounds that the fact of the matter is paying at this point, exceptionally close care concerning what others are doing keeping watch.it truly is apparently that. Without a doubt, we are seeing 2 or 3 bullish signs happening right. At this point in the Bitcoin outlines, our CVD pointer, which is evaluating on the off chance that the trading pressure is coming keeping an eye out, we are seeing a fundamental push towards trouble, which right as of now recommends selling pressure is coming straightforwardly in the market while Bitcoin is as of now illustrating a higher low or something like that. Eventually, on Twitter, on 14th of September, I posted an especially enthralling tweet, which really said enormous upkeep on Bitcoin is right presently occurring on the CVD pointer. Individuals are just purchasing particularly ineptly. By the by, for this current situation here, we got a negative uniqueness. Amazing higher high was framing on the CVD pointer. While Bitcoin was shaping a lower high at present for this current situation that we are seeing right now, it is according to a certified point of view totally novel. We are seeing a higher credit Bitcoin, yet a spick and span lower low on the CVD pointer. So in the event that this here was a negative sign for Bitcoin was a high alert for the Bitcoin regard itself as of the ongoing second that we are seeing totally extraordinary, which is genuinely going to be a bullish sign for the Bitcoin regard itself. At any rate it isn't true, tragically clear as you would suspect, taking into account the way that on 14th of September, when I posted this, without a doubt, it was a huge negative sign for the Bitcoin regard itself. In any case, we have gotten a fundamental aid in the Bitcoin regard itself since, expecting that we go at the present time, for instance, on the 4-hour period of time and see when this was genuinely occurring, it was truly happening by and large at this particular locale, Bitcoin just went on with widely higher. Towards the inverse. So what do I need to say with this? Without a doubt, it is apparently that we are seeing right now the sales stream that is coming in the market surely and bullish. Regardless, unfortunately, we can't just imprudently acknowledge this particular information and say Bitcoin is correct by going to see a crazy direct towards the logical expansion, particularly considering the way that in the looming hours, fresh out of the box new improvement report or CPI information will be uncovered. At this point, what we can see that it is genuinely expected will be a gigantic drop from 3.7% to around 3%. Obviously, in the oncoming numbers, we will see all that the confirmed information will tell us. Besides, in the event that Bitcoin is really going to go on with its way towards the inverse, on the grounds that as alluded to ahead of time, a piece of the technicals, particularly the requesting stream here is looking marvelously bullish and extremely superb, notwithstanding, another basic thing that I should give to you is genuinely going to be. Imagine what is happening where this bullish signs here won't work out and we are really going to go on with our way even lower towards disadvantage to break our particular help regions. Since, expecting that we go for instance on the 1-hour time span, a short time earlier I as of late given you access on that this here can be a motivation or something like that. Similarly, I figure we can all concur this particular cost activity looks very, incredibly steady. So expecting we right at present infer that the top for Bitcoin is in. Obviously, later in the video, I will let you know that, obviously, guessing isn't unequivocally going to be the best choice concerning exchanging, notwithstanding, in the long run, expecting we right by say that the top for Bitcoin is in, we can be looking at a mending part, the very unambiguous. Just in the wake of finishing one wave, what should our next target cost be as we start the going with one? We can utilize Fibonacci levels to sort it out by checking out at the high and beat spots of the wave down that we can review when the second Alnut wave got done with, tolerating it was around here or another area, and in the event that it's not completed at this point and there may be another push the substitute way. In any case, we should simply say that we finished our second Alnut wave at an expense of around $37,600. In that particular situation, we ought to focus in on our one. The 618 Fibonacci improvement level will be around $33,400. I figure this target might be enormous in the event that the CPI information is truly surprising and we see a critical drop in Bitcoin's cost, perhaps in the going with a few hours. The 618 Fibonacci improvement level at a cost of $33,400 is enormous, everything considered to watch. According to my point of view, it's not likely that the cost will go up an exceptional course of action, yet we ought to in any case be prepared assuming the improvement report is really horrendous. Eventually, might we at some point check extra unambiguous signs out? We should talk about our viewpoint will happen to the cost of Bitcoin. We can see that there is critical strong regions for a response occurring at the gold Fibonacci degree district. In any case, too, as I have as of late said in my prior accounts, Close to home moving midpoints are utilized at the top of the hour, 2-hour, 4-hour, and regular stretches of time. The current second, things are looking astoundingly certain and we are going up. Besides, expecting that you choose to utilize the RSI marker on the 1-hour chart for Bitcoin, you could see that it is framing a higher low RSIA and a lower low. A few hours sooner, there was a secretive bullish dissimilarity in the oversold locale.at standard ranges. Like accuracy, they are something practically indistinguishable. The Bitcoin cost is framing secret bullish divergences on momentary periods of time, with additional dreadful discouraged spots and truly uplifting discouraged spots. Certainly, as I said a few days sooner, on the regular framework we are seeing indications of costs going down, yet this second we are not seeing strong regions for any of costs going down. That we really got in a critical dismissal when the cost went up, and there was a ton of exchanging occurring. Thusly, along these lines, I truly need to say that tolerant Bitcoin goes up. The fundamental spot it could confront obstruction is at the amazing Fibonacci degree from the most basic component for certain the base. We essentially utilized the unbelievable Fibonacci degree on our chart. You could see that the cost will huge strong regions for face at $37,400, which matches the past most important cost. This is immense for liquidity. Besides, when you measure how much exchanging the more unmistakable costs, you'll see that the worth region high is close to the gold Fibonacci degree. That is what sure individuals trust. In the event that we interface our old most raised focuses with an inclining line of opposition, it will charmingly match the control point. Obviously, I concur with them. This truly implies that expecting that Bitcoin advances forward up, we ought to really focus on a specific locale where the cost could stop. This region coordinates our past highs, a corner-to-corner level, a trade of control, a worth locale high, and the wonderful Fibonacci degree. At $37,400. When we beat this difficulty and go up, I figure the cost of Bitcoin could appear at another high above $38,000. What could it be reasonable, taking everything into account we exchanged today? We could search for another chance to sell, or perhaps to purchase. On the off chance that you haven't proactively purchased gold at the Fibonacci degree, I don't confide in getting it currently is splendid. We will before long see CPI information that could influence the cost of Bitcoin. At this point, I have no faith in it's really wise to purchase or save gold for quite a while, except for expecting that you got it at the gold fib. If we right at this point say that we finished our most fundamental hurried part wave here, and we got similarly our subsequent part wave, obviously, what is the going with cost target? All we need to do, we go with our Fibonacci augmentation levels from our swing high, back to our swing low, back towards the consummation of our following part wave. We could discuss when this second Alnut wave genuinely got done, on the off chance that it was truly at this particular region, or perhaps at this particular region, or perhaps on the off chance that it's not even completed as of the ongoing second, and we will see one more push towards the opposite. Notwithstanding, we should simply say that we completed our second Alnut wave by and large at $37,600 USD. Considering everything, we believe it or not do have to focus in on our 1.618 Fibonacci increment level, which will be at around $33,400 US. So I would agree that this particular objective will transform into a crucial part, gave that right now our CPI information will be very, fantastically negative, and we are genuinely going to see an enormous response in the Bitcoin regard itself, and we are truly going to see an essential drop, perhaps in the looming hours. Expecting that will be what is happening. If our colossal help regions here will with being broken, obviously, I would agree that 1.618 Fibonacci improvement level is a crucial cost place for us to gather around at $33,400 US, yet as alluded to as of now, to some degree according to my point of view, it isn't exactly possible that we will see a fundamental push towards NASA, yet as alluded to in advance. We ought to be coordinated considering the way that imagine what is happening in which expansion report here will be very negative. At this point, we should analyze more bullish signs. We should discuss what can't avoid being what's going on for the Bitcoin regard itself. We know right now that we are seeing an essential response, or really an unbelievably brilliant response, unequivocally at the gold Fibonacci degree region here. In any case, moreover, as alluded to right now in my past records, shocking moving midpoints on the 1 hourly, on the 2 hourly, on the 4 hourly time period, even on the regular time frame. At the present time looking especially bullish, we are in a rise. What's more, expecting that you will go, for instance with the RSI marker, except on the 1 hour period of time, Bitcoin is framing a higher low RSI barely out of the plastic new, lower low, and we were even at the oversight region a couple of hours sooner, hid, bullish uniqueness 0.2 hourly time frame, for hourly period of time, the very same thing. Lower low, higher low on the Bitcoin regard itself, stowed away bullish divergences are correct by and by being framed on contiguous term periods of time. Without a doubt, as at present alluded to besides a couple of days sooner, on the ordinary stretch of time, we are shaping negative disparity here, yet as alluded to, locally talking, we are right now not unequivocally seeing any huge negative signs, just that we have gotten a monster dismissal towards the normal increment on a really high volume. Thusly, subsequently, I could really have to say that expecting Bitcoin does witness and as its would like towards the conceivable expansion, our region, or truly our most fundamental neighborhood obstruction is again going to be awesome Fibonacci degree. From the high back to our low, applying just the gold Fibonacci degree on our graph. You can see the neighborhood opposition will come up absolutely at 37,400 US, changing impeccably with our past highs for liquidity purposes. Besides, likewise, correspondingly surveying the whole upper cost activity with volume, you will see we truly have our worth area high around at the gold Fibonacci degree. Certain individuals also express